Something Cool from June Christie, and that was another selection from my studio guest tonight, Jim Davison, a man with over 70 years experience in radio. And Jim, you can continue now with another segment of your fascinating life story.
Well, the next stop over was London with the Overseas Rediffusion Company on Lower Regent Street. And one of my greatest delights was at 6 p.m. to go down to St James Park. It wasn't far from my office. And I fell in love with London. I've always liked it. It's a love affair that's lasted right up to today. The moment I go down a London street, I just feel that I'm home. I mean, for a young Australian, the English are not the easiest people to meet up with. They are eccentric, they are witty, they are kind, they are different. But once you know the key of the behaviour, they're firm friends forever. So I've got many, many London friends, and I always remember when I went past Piccadilly tube station of an elderly lady called Lizzie Cuttlebutt. She was 82. I shared her bed on 2 occasions. Now, I pause there because you think that's a dirty old man, but the war was on, and everybody was seeking shelter in the subways, and Lizzie Cuttlebutt was at Piccadilly, and I came down a little bit intoxicated from Ward's wine shop, and Lizzie Cuttlebutt had a double bed, and she said, "Sailor, are you tired?" I said, "Dead tired." She said, "Keep up." And I settled down, and the crowd round us saying, "One day your prince will come." Well, quite often in a quiet moment, I think about Lizzie, long gone but fondly remembered. But I did fall in love with London, liked it very much indeed. Well, that's how the cookie crumbles, and life was going on. So I think we should stop here, David, and have a little music. Now, many songs came out of the war years. The lovely ballad, "I'll Be Seeing You," the Warsaw Concerto, which you hear quite often, but one other piece of music, the Cornish Rhapsody. You don't hear it very often, but I like it. And I heard it first in Lyons Corner House in Coventry Street in London while I was on leave in the Merchant Navy. Cornish Rhapsody.
1 o'clock. We're going to return now to our special studio guest tonight, Jim Davison. And Jim, you were in such a hurry to get to London, I think we missed out Trinidad, but over to you.
Well, let's mention my family for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
They are among the oldest, I suppose, in Australia. They came to Ballarat in 1856, and they all went to Ballarat, all had big families, helped populate the country probably. But my great-great-grandmother was the first person buried in the Melbourne Cemetery. So I am a newcomer, more or less, after staying away for more than 70 years. The old landmarks are still here, but the old associations are not here. So, in a way, I feel a little bit like somebody standing alone in the fairground and everyone's gone home. But everybody here has been very kind, and, well, I'm sort of making up for lost time. Well, now, getting back to London, I had that wonderful year in London with the London Overseas Rediffusion, and I had myself transferred through that company who had affiliates in Trinidad and went to the Caribbean. Well, that was a change. I mean, Port of Spain, the capital, I think the whole island had only 150 people altogether, and they had a fantastic carnival in February. I mean, the Mardi Gras, the Sydney Carnival, the gay parade. It would take a lot of beating as far as competition is concerned. That carnival, people lived for it, and for 3 days it was one big, wonderful hell. Well, so much for Trinidad. I mean, if you stay long enough in a small village and you're used to the big cities, you yearn for the bright lights again. All right, I yearned for the bright lights again, and took off to Venezuela which was just a short distance away, but a complete difference altogether as far as the country is concerned. I arrived there in the middle of a revolution. But let's stop here for a moment or two and have some more music. And this time, it's something I like very much, The Bachelors and My Diane.
Venezuelan story.
Yes, when I arrived in Venezuela, it was a most inopportune time. A revolution was on. Perez Jimenez was being chucked out, and President Betancourt had not been installed. It was very unsettling. Machine gun fire. I had to go to work with 2 machine-toting security guards. I had to be careful what taxi I caught because I was working for the government, and many of the factions were anti-government. So I was on the warring list of the, I don't know what you'd call it, but anyway, it was the most exciting but inopportune time to make an entrance to any country. But I stayed there for several years. I must say that I never quite settled down in Latin America. Caracas was a very beautiful city, which I liked very much. I made quite a few friends. And all in all, I enjoyed my stay. Wonderful open-air cafes and so forth. I had a very nice apartment. And I suppose one could not afford a 2-bedroom penthouse in any ordinary city. But Venezuela at that time was fabulously wealthy. And I had a 2-bedroom penthouse in Francisco de Miranda, the main drag in Caracas. And I sat up there at night time watching the stars and thinking how lucky I was. And there was little me there. Well, that was Venezuela. I mean, all good things come to an end. And I just have to conclude, it was one of the most venturesome locations I ever worked in. Well, now David has some commitments on 98.1, and we'll be back again, if you'll accept me back again, in half an hour's time, with more adventures on the way.
Thank you, Jim. Yes, we'll return to Jim's story.